In today's adventure, we're exploring the Lakeforest Mall in Gaithersburg, Maryland. At the time of its opening in 1978, the mall was one of the largest in the country and one of the only to boast an indoor ice rink. The mall went through various renovations and expansions over the years, adding new stores and amenities. As is the case with most malls these days, in the early 2000s it began facing challenges due to competition from newer malls and online shopping. Arguably the biggest hit to the mall, though, was in 2019, when, over the course of the year, 3 of the mall's 4 anchor stores closed, leaving only Macy's to hang on until the end. By 2020, most of the mall's stores had closed and the property was sold to a developer with a final closure date of March 31st, 2023. Plans have been announced to demolish the mall and build a mixed-use development that includes residential, retail, and office space. The redevelopment project is expected to take several years to complete, and it remains to be seen what the future holds for this iconic Gaithersburg landmark. I lived and worked just a few miles from this mall for nearly a decade around 2010, so this is the first time I've had the unfortunate opportunity to film a dying mall that I'm personally familiar with. Let's take a few minutes to explore what was left of the Lakeforest Mall just a few months before it closed its doors for good. Out of order. So I've been hearing for a while now that this mall is in terrible shape, and I've been meaning to get out here and see it, but this, I knew it had to be in bad shape in order for it to be closing, but this is appallingly bad compared to what I remember from like a decade ago. You know, after all these mall videos that I've done, finally doing one that actually kind of hits close to home and is one that I'm personally familiar with. I definitely get all the comments that I've seen on my other ones now about reminiscing and telling stories about what they remember, because, you know, I'm wanting to do the same thing now, right? Like, things like I used to sit here. I remember sitting there when I came to this Sears to like get my car serviced or something, so I get it now. Apparently they've already started liquidating stuff in the mall, and it's supposed to close in about 2 months or so. This is just shockingly dead. I mean, what did I expect when I came to a mall that has been announced it's closing due to poor performance or whatever, right? But it's still just shocking to see. This is a great idea, actually. Having a directory on that spot like that for a closed store is a great idea if it's not going to be occupied for a while. So kind of like with the Columbia Colonnade, it's not warm in here at all. It's like 35, 40 degrees outside, and it's very cold in here. I know I'm not totally bundled up, but it is not warm at all. Oh, I just noticed the escalators are turned off here. So despite the loud music that's playing, other than the loud music, it seems like this end of the mall they have kind of just given up on. Not really given up, but like this end is done, right? All of the stores are closed, with the exception of that, and I guess a couple over there. The majority of the lights are off or out, and like everything is closed. Like I said, the escalator is out or off. I can't figure out what this was. Is this a store of some sort? It looks like almost looks like a fake wall that was built here in front of, I can't even guess what that was. This looks like a hair place. It's just trashed over there. Can I see all that? I was just about to make a comment about how it's actually pretty clean in here, and then I came across all that garbage in the store. But other than that, it is actually really pretty clean. I'm gonna go upstairs, but I need to go back to the escalators that are actually working. So the upstairs is somehow more dead than the downstairs. And that music is so loud up here. So as many of you pointed out from my Marley Station video, this is basically like a sister mall to Marley Station. It was built first in the late 70s. But like I said, as some of you mentioned, the elevator here is very reminiscent of what's at Marley Station. So it seemed like leading up to the announcement of the closure, this mall was doing what the Lycoming Mall was doing and what the St. Lawrence Center was doing, which is essentially consolidating their stores that they do still have open into one area. Because I've seen a lot of signs here talking about relocating within the mall. So, I mean, that's likely never a good sign either. So back in the day, I used to come here for a Red Robin that I think was down here. Oh, so it was a Red Robin, and now it's is, I don't know, a Marie's Food and Spirits and Music, whatever that is. But I thought that Ruby Tuesdays was still open here, but it doesn't look like it. No. Even the places like Ruby Tuesdays that I thought was still open, apparently is closed. So it looks like it's Macy's and a couple of random other stores. So I was gonna make an insensitive comment about them leaving a bunch of stuff in there, but that actually looks like it's like a food bank of sorts for feeding people in need, so no argument from me there. Oh, but remember, here we go again. So the Victoria's Secret, you can still see that sign. It's something about the way the Victoria's Secret does their signage that it just sticks. And I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, this mall it makes sense now. I don't know why I was fighting coming here and making a video. For some reason I thought that it wouldn't be as dead as everyone says, but I was very, very wrong. All right, what do you say for nostalgia's sake we take the elevator down? But before we do that, this is what it used to be in its heyday, apparently. How long must they have gone between updating that for it to go from that many stores down to like a handful here? I mean, that had to have been ignored for years. All right, let's check this thing out. There's a little button. Not nearly as cool as Marley Stations, but still very reminiscent. You can see the outline of where maybe they, on the floor, maybe where they originally had a similar kind of tiered area like Marley Station. Like, you see this little outline here that looks like, if you think of Marley Station, it's got that same sort of center area that has the different tiers in it. And so this looks like a version of that that has just been sort of flattened instead, or leveled off. Like, I feel like up here in one of these ends there used to be there's a tailor that I came to. Oh, there it is. Well, I remember enough to remember that, but that's gone along with everything else. So actually, the only escalators that they have working are the center ones. The ones on each end, the wing down here and then the wing over there, both of those have been turned off and blocked off. Wow. So I just noticed, you can see over my shoulder here, similarly to Marley Station, even though this is under new ownership, it also has the fire hose signs at all the exits, just like Marley Station, which I'd never seen before. It's really interesting to see the similarities between those two. All right, I kind of threw myself into the deep end by coming into the food court entrance. Definitely caught off guard by that. So now that I've had a chance to kind of get myself used to what this place is in its current state here. Let's go down and check out that food court again. And maybe that'll probably be our last stop. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I remember coming into this food court and finding this central newsstand place here very weird and out of place. Places just closed up shop recently or what, but with the exception of a couple like this, a lot of the ones that we saw still have all the signage up, still have all the stuff, but like they're just closed. I wonder if with the announcement of this place closing and all of that, everyone just jumped ship. So if anyone knows, let me know. I'm very curious. I mean, just look how sad this is. Although they are playing Back to the Future, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, so I kind of want to grab a seat here at one of these tables and check it out, except for the fact that both the movie... I'll talk to you in a sec, you'll see what I mean. That loud music that I was talking about that's playing elsewhere in the mall is also blasting, as you probably heard, in the food court. In addition to that, they have Back to the Future playing. They have 4 other TVs playing also. And they're all playing different things or showing different things with the volume up at the same level. So you can't actually hear anything from any of the TVs. It's just this giant competing mishmash of loud noise that's very overwhelming. So even if I wanted to sit back there and watch Back to the Future or whatever, like, I couldn't even hear myself think. So I guess compared to that, these nice quiet corners over here are kind of a welcome change. So if it doesn't get a copyright strike, I'm going to try to capture what I'm talking about with the competing sounds again in the food court. So let's see if we can get that going. There's more holes in the ceiling. But you see here, there are 2 TVs right here. So there are 2 TVs right here. There are 2 right there. On the other side of those 2 is Back to the Future. And you have 2 TVs down at the end. I hope that insanity of sound is coming through. All right, let's get out of here.
Please remember, you entered.
Wasn't this like El Pollo Loco or something like that? If I remember right, but... I mean, either way, there we have it. The last days, the Lakeforest Mall, which is, as of filming this, supposed to be closing in a couple of months. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I mentioned a bunch of times before, I kind of get it now from a personal standpoint about seeing a mall that you were once really familiar with now being in a super dead state. So yeah, I get it. I look forward to hearing your stories. I know that crime is a big issue around here. When I was living here, any crime that happened around the mall here. So I'm sure that that contributed to this place's downfall. So yeah, but any stories you have, leave them in the comments. I love reading all the reminiscing from everyone. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Oh, as usual, also, you know the drill, right? Like button, notification, subscribe. Like I keep mentioning, any interaction with the channel helps it grow. And welcome to any new subscribers that we have. And yeah, so now I will talk to you later.